Hey there guys, welcome. Today we're going to be doing another different style of video. We're going to be doing another like budget-ish kit. Today we're going to be playing Wizard, and we're going to be playing actual spellcasting Wizard. I feel like playing actual spellcaster again. We have around 2,500 gold, which I'd personally class as like a low to mid kind of budget kit. It's, you know, it's not nothing, but it's not exactly insanely high. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are about that in the comments below. Let me know if you think this is a high budget or a low budget or medium, just to try and help me put things into perspective when I'm making these videos in the future. And today, the whole kit I want to, or the whole kind of playstyle I want to go with is Spell Overload. I actually haven't played Spell Overload before yet, so I'm not sure exactly how this really plays, but this is going to be my first attempt at trying it. So I think for our perks, so of course we're going to be taking Spell Overload. We will of course be taking Quick Chant for the 10% cast speed. And I think aside from that, honestly, we might go for Ice Shield as well, because a little bit of extra armor is nice, and the slow could actually save us, so I think we will go for that. However, I also understand that possibly it's better with a Glass Cannon style with this, and so possibly we should go like Mana Surge and Sage instead. But I'm not going to select our fourth perk right now, just to kind of demonstrate something. Our skills, we're actually going to be running Intense Focus. I just kind of feel like running Intense Focus for once. I haven't run this in quite a while, but I want to try it again and see how it feels. And let's wait to decide on our spells. Okay guys, the first thing that we're going to start with is buying a spellbook. Now, epic spellbooks, I would like to get an epic one because the 1 extra base magical damage is quite a big improvement. However, epics are just really expensive right now, so I feel like we're probably better off getting a rare. And one of the big things with spellbooks is people quite often want to go for magical power, and like just a decent-ish magical power spellbook is considerably more expensive than grabbing one with magical damage bonus. And quite often magical damage bonus, like look at this, 105 gold for 7.5% magical damage bonus. This is going to be a lot more efficient than a lot of those other spellbooks that are actually more expensive. So I'm hoping we can grab a kind of cheap-ish one along with probably just a few points of magical power as well, just to stack up a little bit. It's either that or some magic pen would be nice, but let's see what we can get. Okay, I think this is the one. This is pretty cheap, 250 gold for 8% magical damage bonus and also 3 magical power. That's pretty good for 250 gold. Of course, it's just been sold, unfortunate. Okay, so now there's not many other good cheap ones with magical power as well. It's weird, that one had been up for half an hour, but there is this one for 248 gold with magical damage bonus and magic penetration, so I think we'll go ahead and grab that instead. That's also a decent one. The other one would have probably been better for us, but hey, this is decent. Again, we need a crystal sword just to clear mobs, so we'll just get a pretty cheap one. 4 magical power, 99 gold. Of course, been sold. Just bought this one for 100 gold. Crystal Sword, 2 physical power, 9% magic damage bonus. Pretty good find. Unfortunately, the magical weapon damage is only 13, but hey, it'll be okay. Now, looking at Oracle Robes, if we find one with any useful stat or any stat that we're looking for, like perhaps magical damage bonus or magical power or will or, you know, even stuff like spellcasting speed, they're going to get quite expensive. So I think a cheaper way of doing this is probably going, instead of the Knowledge Robe, actually going for the Will Robe, which is called Mystic Vestments, and looking for knowledge, and looking for one with knowledge instead. This will be a little bit cheaper, hopefully. There are these ones with 3 knowledge for almost 300 gold with also memory capacity bonus. We might go for those. It depends what we can get. Let's say our budget is maybe like, we can go a little bit above 400, I guess, but we probably don't want to spend too much more than that. I'd say this one for 400 gold is probably one of the best we're going to get. Now, knowledge is probably a preferred stat for us just due to the cast speed than will, but this kind of acts as like a more budget version, which, while it's not probably as good, it's still going to be pretty damn similar in actual spell or in power levels. Our spellcasting speed is of course not going to be as high, but one thing to note as well is because we are actually running the Intense Focus, we don't have to worry about it too much. I think some of the best pieces for us on regarding boots are going to be occultist boots, so let's go ahead and look for one of these, and we probably want additional movement speed as well. We can't really afford to be slow on a wizard. Another little trick with boots is additional movement speed. So each point of additional movement speed is basically the equivalent of like 0.3% move speed. So 3 movement speed here is about just under 1% movement speed bonus. So what you can do instead of going additional movement speed is go to movement speed bonus, and things will generally be a bit cheaper for like the same amount of movement speed. Or another way to possibly get it even cheaper is instead to go for agility. And agility is much cheaper and also gives you a tiny bit of action speed, which to be honest doesn't really matter that much on Wizard. Action speed applies to weird things like using potions and stuff, I believe. Very, very slightly amount from agility, but it's something that's another option if you're looking for a budget. 1 agility equals 1 movement speed. So these 3 agility boots are the same movement speed as these 3 movement speed occultist boots. So then this is another way that you can try and save a bit of money. So as a bit of a budget option, let's go ahead and grab these 3 agility 2 strength boots. In fact, for even cheaper, let's go ahead and buy these 2 agility 3 strength boots. We lose 1 movement speed, but strength is actually a little bit of health. So that's actually not going to feel too bad. So let's see, we go from 81 health to 83. It's not a huge amount, but it is a little bit. So that will help us out, like I say, a little bit. Now, I think let's go ahead and look for our legs next. So we're going to be looking for leather shousers. I don't know how you pronounce that exactly. Again, epics right now are pretty expensive, so I'm not sure if we are going to be able to get any cheap... maybe we can have a look for them. Okay, these are pretty insane for 175 gold. Let's definitely go ahead and take those. Just to show them off, where they are 3 agility, so again, that's 3 movement speed with a little bit of action speed. We did lose movement speed, of course, because they do have like the 5 penalty, but that's only a 2 penalty now with this. You could also go for the agility legs as well if you're going for true movement speed, but we do need knowledge, we do need cast speed, so I think these are a pretty good option. 4 magical power as well, and 2% magic damage reduction. Yeah, that's not really relevant. It's just the other 2 stats as of why we bought those, along with the 5 base knowledge. Pretty good. So we're now sitting at 1,400 gold. Let's go ahead and let's get, I think, gloves and hat next. So again, from gloves, you can get movement speed again in the form of agility. I think instead of focusing on damage, so, you know, magic penetration, magic damage bonus, magical power, let's instead get some just nice statted clubs. These would be 3 agility, 2 vigor for 200 gold, 3 knowledge, 3 resourcefulness. I think that's going to be pretty good. Yeah, we're going to get these 3 agility, 2 vigor ones for 200 gold. Now, the leather cap would be a pretty good option for us. It doesn't slow you down by too much. It's pretty nice defensively for vigor. However, I think instead, let's try and go for a wizard cap, because we could possibly be lacking in damage a little bit. And it's also a hat that people don't really like that much, so it's a little bit less meta than other things. And I think using off-meta pieces is definitely a way you can buy a decent kit on a budget. Oh, this hat is pretty insane for 300 gold, so I think we will go ahead and buy this one. 300 gold's a little bit expensive, but we're running nearly to the end of the kit here, actually. So we just need jewelry and cape left. We've got 900 gold. It's going to be a little bit rough because, you know, these are some of the most expensive pieces. So getting additional magic damage rings is very, very strong. However, it's just going to be too expensive. Like, look, these are even just greens, and they're on knowledge rings, and they're already coming to like almost 200 gold for 1 additional magical damage. If we get will, all of a sudden we can get cheaper rings, but is it going to be worth it? It's still not that good. So let's just do a little bit of shopping around and see what we can get instead. So I think we want to try and save up for a strong cape. So I think what we're going to do is try and get some pretty cheap rings. Knowledge with spellcasting speed is actually a pretty cheap option here. So I think what we'll go ahead and do is pick up some of these that are looking pretty decent. This for 150 gold looks pretty solid. And this for another 150 also looks pretty solid. So let's go ahead and buy both of those. This will give us more knowledge, more casting speed. Let's check. We go from 80% up to 95%. We're going to be casting out spells pretty damn quickly. So we've got 600 gold now for a cape, a neck, and also, you know, a few meds. We'll put these away because these weren't included in the gold. Oh, I see this cape and I really want to go for this, although I did want to look for actual movement speed, but this, maybe we just go for like a true kind of glass cannon-y build. Let's go ahead and try it. 104% spellcasting speed, 46 knowledge. Our vigor is quite low. We are an absolute glass cannon. This is probably not realistically how you should build a wizard, but I want to try it. 54% magical power bonus as well, looking pretty good. Now we have 362 gold for a neck. We're probably going to be lacking a little bit of flat damage, so I think let's go for a Phoenix Choker. And it's looking like spellcasting speed is very, very cheap. Now, you know, it would be great to get some vigor or some max health or all attributes or something like that. You can't get vigor, but, you know, probably max health or something like that. But I think, honestly, at this point, we're so squishy, we probably just commit to full glass cannon. And I think, honestly, maybe let's just grab, like, this really cheap true, 3 true magical damage, a little bit of casting speed. The other stats are kind of whatever. It's only 115 gold, so this gives us plenty of gold for consumables. We are sitting at 108% spellcasting speed now, so it should feel amazing when we're casting these things out. Do we need this much when we are running the intense focus? Perhaps instead we should go for Arcane Shield or something instead to have a little bit more tankiness. But the reason I wanted to show, to leave this perk blank right now, is look at our spellcasting speed, 108%. Quick Chant is 10%. People always say 10% knowledge is really terrible. We gained almost 10% spellcasting speed from Sage as well, which of course gives us other bonuses such as memory capacity and spell recovery bonus, along with no longer interaction speed, unfortunately, magical interaction speed, so we don't quite get that benefit anymore. We used to get that. But Sage, I think, is relatively slept on. In base kit, it's not amazing, but in base kit, you really do appreciate more spellcasting speed, so I pretty often run Sage as well. Now, I think I'm going to change the build a little bit, and instead of running Intense Focus like I planned to, instead I think we'll possibly run Arcane Shield, but we do need a few more spells, so what should we take? I think Invis would be really, really nice, I think. So I think let's take that, and then let's go ahead and take perhaps Ice Bolt. Haste I don't think is worth it. We're running Spell Overload, but I could be wrong there. I think this is looking pretty good, so let's go ahead, let's buy some meds, let's buy some campfires, and let's get into a game. First things first, 2 more campfires, we're going to need those. These are our only real way of recovering spells aside from resting. After buying our meds, we're at 108 gold. Let's see if we can just get some blue potions, and then we will go in game. Looks like, unfortunately, with just a little bit of gold being able to buy any potions. I do have some in here, which realistically I should just take them, but let's just go ahead and get in game without them and see what we can do. Okay, hey there guys, welcome. I haven't actually tested... Oh wow, we are casting very, very quickly. I haven't had this much like spellcasting speed on a wizard build in a long time. Now, what are our matchups looking like? Wizard, you know, gear/skill matchup, of course. Warlock, I think it depends on the situation, honestly. If they catch us in a bad situation, I think it's Warlock favored, but if we catch them in a, you know, an even-ish situation, I think honestly we're okay. Ranger, pretty rough. Fighter should be pretty damn easy. We are, of course, going to be very squishy, but it's okay. One thing I need to check. Okay, so our Arcane Shield does actually stop damage from all sources. I wasn't sure if it was only magic power. Sorry, only physical sources like Blue Potion. God, I don't know why it's so stuttery. This is something that started happening recently with me, with my game. It's just really, really stuttery. I'm not sure why. But, you know, let's see what we can get. Got some decent items so far. The only thing is, there is a lion's head in here, which I would like to clear. Taking magic missiles was perhaps a mistake. I'm not 100% sure on that, really. I'm not sure if we're going to get much use out of it. Of course, usually you take it for, like, PvE. But we're decently kitted with our crystal sword, so I think, honestly, we should be okay for PvE. So it's very possible that that was a mistake. I suppose let's use it here. 10 magic missiles feels a kind of very overkill, to be honest. That's a pretty damn good longsword, actually. Yeah. Our casting speed. I have not played a class with this much casting speed in a while. Of course, Wizard has, like, the most. And appreciates probably the most from stacking knowledge. Because it's, you know, especially with the spell overload. Having such a huge amount of spells is very, very nice. Well, it's actually... that's a decent necklace. I'm not sure if it'll suffer much. That's a decent ring of courage. For greens, that is. These are pretty decent. Of course, +1 all attributes is the best for greens, so... I hear something. Lighter there. Did he run away? The reason I'm doing that is in case he's invis potted. I don't really know where he went. He must have closed this door and we didn't hear the audio from it. No, but there's a goblin right there. Perhaps down this way he went? How did he go here without pulling this mop? I'm not really too sure where this guy went. Now, of course, we cleared out most of the mobs here. Is it hiding around here? No, there's more mobs here even. That's the problem with invisibility, is you lose so much of your, like, actual audio. Let's just try and keep a lookout while we loot this lion's head. I should have remembered a coin purse, but unlucky. It is what it is, it's not that big of a deal. I don't want to really be looting too much whilst there's a player somewhere near us. He could have gone pretty far during this time, so I'm not sure if we can really find him that easily. I think let's look in here and see if we can see him in here. Okay, so here was probably where he came from, judging from the fact that mobs have been cleared. But where did he go? Did he go down here? No, he killed that goblin, and I assume he went through this door. Although, honestly, probably not. I was going to say, it's towards the middle of the map, so it's very possible that he didn't go that way. I really hope this guy isn't invis-potted. It would be a very good play for him if he was. Or just hiding in the dark somewhere. There's not many ways he could have went. He probably had to have gone down here. Yeah. Poor guy. Fighter is basically, you just can't win versus a wizard. Pretty good recurve bow. His gear isn't that amazing. That's a pretty decent cloak though. Let's go ahead and grab that. Dark Cuirass, I think, sells for very, very little because people just don't really... It's pretty poor base type. Like, it gives negative move, magic resist, pretty high move speed penalty. And look at these stats. These are not really fighter stats. Like, these don't really help you that much. So let's not worry about taking that. It's not really going to be worth much. His potions of protection are pretty terrible. His weapon's not very good. I don't know. Those boots might be worth a little bit, but I don't think they're really going to be... Hopefully we can get higher tier treasures. That guy, like, immediately pushed into us, though, and started, leaving. Let's go ahead and rest our spells back up. In our little spider hidey hole. Okay, we've rusted all our zaps back. We've got 7 fireballs, 7 invises. We should be fine. I don't think we need to really spend much more time resting. So that's 1 player down. Aside from that, there was still a wizard, and I'm not sure what the other 2 players were, but this was a full lobby, so that should be, you know, a full 5 players. I don't really like clearing into here. There is of course, that, blue portal there, which maybe we should take. That might be the smart idea. Our inventory is pretty full, so honestly, we probably will just make our way out of here. Maybe we'll loot 1 more chest on the way out. Grab a little bit of gold, some treasures, whatever we can get our hands on. Let's go ahead and make sure we open the portal. We could probably go for the lion's head in the center as well. It's a very quiet run. I'm not hearing basically anything. Whether that means people are dead or what. I'm taking these silver coins because you need them looted for a quest. You know, let's go ahead and try and loot the lion's head in the middle. Just making sure we listen to see if we do hear any other players. Pretty default frock. We don't really worry about that. It's an okay cloak, but it's not really going to be worth much. Let's go ahead, drop the 8 gold, grab that. Aside from that, I think honestly we're good. Maybe let's drop those rugged boots for that. That's a decent battle axe. I honestly might try and sell that. Let's perhaps try... Okay, I need to do a little bit of Tetris here. Right, I think aside from that, we're good to go. I honestly don't think there's anyone left in here. Which is pretty damn surprising, honestly. Although, judging from the fact that we don't think there's anyone in here, we possibly should kill the centipede because of that. I think let's actually try that. Let's kill the centipede. Can we get a good angle on it? If it stands still, we'll just go ahead and magic missiles it. I don't think we're really going to get a good angle on it. Whatever, let's just go. Bit sketchy here. We're running really low on time here. Let's see if it dies from like one more magic missiles. Okay, it does. Okay, we can't even loot these things. Put the book away. Run for your goddamn life. If someone took this, this would have been a real shame. Because we would have guaranteed died. I have no idea where the other players went, honestly. Whether they died to PvE, or... The other wizard I saw looked pretty geared, so I would be surprised if he died to PvE, but it's, you know, it's possible. From the collector, we're looking at a return of 221 gold. Unfortunately, it's looking like the battle axe is pretty off meta still. What I thought, because this is purple, it had a possibility of being worth a little bit. No, this was a mistake. We definitely shouldn't have taken this. This is actually just unfortunately going to end up getting vended. It's still 80 gold. It's not horrible, but we definitely could have taken better things out with us there. Pretty similar situation with a longsword. We can probably get like just over. Let's try for 110 gold on that. Well, recurves are really not worth anything close to what I thought they were worth. Looks like we're probably going to be vendoring that as well. Damn, my looting was pretty poor in this one. This ox pendant is really poor. Let's just go ahead and vendor that as well. These rings will probably get a little bit poor. Looking like probably about 120 gold for the Ring of Courage with physical damage reduction. Looking like probably around 180 gold or so for the cloak with 3 physical power, Vigilant Cloak. Like probably, I don't know, maybe 60 gold for the Ring of Finesse. And looking like probably another 140-ish gold for the Ring of Vitality. And almost nothing for this next, so let's just go ahead and vendor that. Okay guys, welcome back. It looks like from our first run, we're probably... If everything sells that we put it up for, we probably made around half our investment back. Those are pretty good plate boots. The only thing to be cautious of with plate boots is, of course, they are off-meta things. They don't get used too much. Granted, they probably do get used a bit more this patch, just because PDR itself is a bit better. That's a bad hit, but oh well, we'll be okay. I really wanted to magic missiles this guy. I really didn't want him to cast, but whatever. It is what it is. Let's make sure we pop some meds, but look at the damage a goblin hit did to us. Like, yeah, we really need to be cautious. Let's pop like 2 bandages, 2 potions. We should be good. Right, anyway. Like I say, half our investment back if everything sells. Plate boots are generally a pretty poor base type, which people don't particularly care about much. So it is risky picking them up, but I think for now, whilst we have nothing else anyway, we might as well. We can definitely drop those if we come across anything any better. 2 strengths pendant I don't think will sell for much, but it has 1 physical power. It might sell for possibly like, you know, 80 gold or something. Those are pretty good loose trousers actually. Max health bonus plus some armor rating. Decent. But honestly, let's not bother with right treasures. Let's also make sure our potions are actually stacked right now. I don't want to go right into the middle of the map immediately. It looks like in this lobby there were 2 warlocks, 1 rogue, and I'm not sure what the other character was, the other class, so I couldn't really tell. Or actually, I didn't see them at all, so... There's one mummy here. Let's go ahead and magic missiles this guy and grab our... Hopefully our lion's head is unlocked. We should have probably bought lockpicks. It is unlocked. This is a very risky place to loot, though, because you can't hear anything from down here. So if someone walks up on behind you... again, I forgot to bring a bloody... coin bag. God, I need to make a post-it note or something and leave it on my screen. Alright, well, those are actually pretty decent, but... Ranger's, like, kind of off meta at the moment. It's kind of, like, fell out the meta, it feels like. Which is one of the reasons why I think right now, Wizard is probably in a bit of a better spot than it was. It's kind of... The meta's a bit weird right now. It feels like, the only two things you really face are PDR, whether that's Cleric, Warlock, or Fighter, or, Spellcasters. At least that's how it's feeling for me in my games. You know. There's a few rangers every now and then. I think there's a spawn for a player down here to the south. Pretty annoying room to clear out as a wizard. Pretty annoying room to clear out as a whole, to be honest, but... I really hate bloody spider pots. 2 stabs. Hopefully that guy doesn't snipe us with that. No, perfect. Let's just go ahead and magic missiles, honestly. Our magic missiles, I actually don't regret taking it. It's helping us clear mobs out pretty damn quick. And it is, of course, always a bit of a last resort against players. It's not a dead thing against players, is what I'm trying to say, basically. You can also magic missile pots if you're unaware. You can, of course, also fireball them as well, but I'd rather have a fireball if we fight against a player than a magic missile, probably. Really can't reach that. That's kind of crazy. I don't really like... Yeah, you see that door's open over there. Did we aggro this thing or not? We did, but I can't see it, so let's not worry about it too much. There's very possibly a player within here somewhere, so we're going to try and be a little bit cautious. It could be a rogue as well, so this is why we're having to be a bit quieter in this commentary than the usual ones. Because if we get caught out, we're pretty much guaranteed gonna die. Oh. The player died. It was a warlock, basic warlock who died to a mob. Well, that's unfortunate. Unlucky. He probably just died to a mob, so we don't have to worry about anything too much for now. I was wondering how come he didn't loot below, because there's pretty good loot down below usually. Let's check if... This wizard shoes here, so like... Maybe he was killed by a player and he looted his shoes and stuff, because I don't know why there would be shoes on the floor. I apologize for the dogs. Okay, sorry about that. The dogs were kicking out. I'm trying to edit that out if I remember. Yeah, it's a bit risky jumping down here as a wizard, I feel like. Right, well, let's do it anyway. Screw it. Why not? He really clipped us there. That's a shame. We really need to try and listen out, though. Like I keep saying, it's very, very important as Wizard. This is, if you want to learn Wizard, this is one of the things I would recommend the most. You need to use your ears, which is why it's a bit hard to commentate and try and play Wizard, you know, decently in solos, because you're obviously so vulnerable. The only thing we can do is pop our Arcane Shield, because we have that, and just try and hope our magic missiles delete them before they kill us. But we will die to probably 3 hits from anything, 2 to the stronger, like, melee classes. Ooh, that's pretty good, actually. That will probably sell for a little bit. So from that, let's just have a quick look to see if we can... There is a Royal Coffin over there, actually. Perfect. Like I say, it is a bit risky to go down here, but honestly, we'll probably be okay. It's just because, like, if we start getting mobs following us whilst we're fighting against a player, it could lead to us being, like, you know, stuck in a position where we don't want to be. Morningstar's okay. We did finally get a blue potion, so I think let's take that there instead of a bandage. Now, there's probably not many people left in this run at this point. I don't know whether... Let's go and just have a listen near this corner again. Yep, there's a rogue in there. Okay, let's fight. Okay, well, he made the mistake of phantomizing. You can't phantomize versus a wizard, you know, you will just die, so... Ooh, that's a crystal sword upgrade. Although our crystal sword did cost us like 100 gold, so let's try and save that. Do you have anything else which is any good? It's an okay Chris dagger. That ring might sell for a little bit. The chest is okay. Ooh, that's a pretty decent cloak. We can drop that, drop the single bandage... Move that there. I have a feeling we're probably the last person in this lobby now. Goblin ear. Let's go ahead and open this portal. So that's 2 dead players we've seen, and then 2 could have extracted or died. This was a full lobby, like I say. Every lobby you go into now is full, like, immediately, basically. In Goblin Caves. Aside from that, that's a decent falchion. That is honestly a pretty good Chris dagger, so I think let's go ahead and take that. Aside from that, like, I don't think these pieces are that good, generally. He did have a ton of meds, but do we really care? I mean, let's drop that for those. Aside from that, I think we're all good. I think that's pretty much optimized. Right, let's just go ahead and extract. Should be a pretty good payday for us again. From the collector, we're looking at another 241 gold. Let's go ahead and stash our crystal sword. This crystal sword will of course be worth more. It's a better crystal sword, higher tier, plus just better stats as well. Well, actually 3 magical power is actually worse than 9% magical damage bonus, so not objectively worse, but let's see what we've got. These Franciscas are from a quest reward, so we'll discount those. Same with the throwing knives. There is a chest like this studded leather up for currently 400 gold. I don't think it's going to be worth that. I would say it's probably more like 300 or so. I think we'll have a relatively easy sell at 300, so let's go ahead and put it up here. One thing to note, guys, is you don't want to be cancelling your listing, and you don't really want to be overpricing stuff, because every time you list something, of course, it costs you money. So you want to price it at either cheap to reasonable price, and then just be patient. Sometimes things just don't sell instantly in this game. You know, while there is like a global market, there's a lot of different classes that want a lot of different things, a lot of different items, you know. So if you don't have, especially if you don't have like one of the very, very meta pieces, stuff can take a little while to sell. Just give it a few hours and stuff. Maybe even a day before you change the price if it's still not sold. I'd say with this cloak, we're probably looking at another solid... It's actually a very good cloak, so I'm gonna say like maybe 500. And we're gonna sell these pretty cheap because we are starting to run out of slots. So let's go ahead and say like another 120 gold for these loose trousers. I think these boots are maybe worth like, I don't know, maybe near 100 gold. But honestly, I just want to sell them at this point because we are starting to run out of slots. So let's go ahead and chuck them up for 70. Hopefully those sell relatively quick. Another 90 gold for this Chris dagger, perhaps. Now, we do have a few more pieces to sell, but we're actually fully out of space, like slots on the marketplace. So for now, let's just go ahead and sort our inventory out. We'll probably do... I wanted to do a few more runs, so I might have to take like a bit of a break and hope things sell soon. But let's go ahead and buy a few more meds, top ourselves up a little bit. Okay, welcome back, guys. Looked like there was a bunch of different classes here. There was, I believe, a warlock, a cleric, a rogue, and then some kind of lizard. I'm going to assume it was like probably a barbarian. It kind of looked most like a barbarian, so... Ooh. Now, we did, of course, get our crystal sword upgrade now, so we should be killing mobs quite a bit quicker. It's actually like a pretty sizable upgrade as well. Green treasures right off the bat is nice. Are these Nightmare? I don't think so. I think there is a spawn very close to this area, so we don't want to wait in here too long. Oh, I forgot the bag again. Well, unfortunate. I don't think those things are really worth taking. They're not going to be worth too much. Let's go ahead and clear this mob. There is a lion's head down below us. But do we want to run the risk of getting caught? Okay, that ring, 3 additional physical damage sells for quite a bit, so that's a pretty damn good find. Let's go ahead and loot this chest. Then I think, perhaps let's take a peek to the north. Another blue potion is nice. Well, we found out blue recurves don't really sell for much at all right now, so let's not worry about that. There's also an okay chest behind here. So let's go ahead and open that as well. I just want to say, guys, as well, thank you for the support on the videos recently. It's been doing very well. I appreciate you all for that. Thank you very much. Rings generally sell for a decent bit, even if they are very mid for like that. It's probably still going to be like at least 50 gold, which for a single slot is pretty solid. Thought I heard something for a moment. I believe there's a mummy. No, looks like not. Perhaps there's a mummy when there isn't a spike trap here, because I haven't seen the spike trap here in a while, so... Yeah, not very good, Morningstar, unfortunately. It's been nice to expand out and actually try different things. Again, I keep thinking I'm hearing something. This is how worried I am on a wizard about getting ran up on by something. I hope you guys have been enjoying it as well. There's plenty more to come. I'll also be doing different classes. It's just I need to level everything up to level 15 before I do, like, these, you know, obviously trading kind of videos. Which, no, takes a little while. I've got a few ideas for a few things that I did want to try. I did actually have a, Warlock video I wanted to do. Someone asked for a Ray of Darkness build, which I was making. And I bought like a full kit for it. It was like 2,500 gold, decent kit. And we died to the first person we came across. We came across a cleric. And I tried to use my Ray of Darkness. Bear in mind, my entire gear set was based around magical power, stacking magical damage. I had Soul Collector for one big Ray of Darkness, like Dark Enhancement, I think. But I forgot about the perk Perseverance. This guy's running. Oh, wow, he killed us with that. I underestimated the damage. I didn't think this guy's gear was going to be as good as it actually was. Let's go ahead and take a look. This guy's actually relatively geared. Damn, that's a shame that we lose the kit like that. But this is how it is sometimes, guys. Shouldn't underestimate clerics. Now with the additional faithfulness and running Judgment instead of Smite, clerics have a much better chance against these casting classes, which I think is why I knew... Realistically, the smart play, what we should do is we should back off and heal. He's not able to get his spells back, so if he's down 3 Holy Strikes, he doesn't really have a chance of killing us. So, yeah, it's a shame we died to this guy. Bit of disrespect. I didn't think his Judgment was going to do that much damage, but it did. Hope he enjoys the gear. Well played to him. Or them. Bit of a short one this time, I guess, but sometimes it is how it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed either way. There'll be plenty more coming. I hope to see you in the next one. If you enjoyed stuff like this and you'd like to see more like this, I'd appreciate subscriptions. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate likes as well. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.